Hey, this is Derek, and welcome to my Boss Guide series, where I'll be walking you through practical and effective strategies for beating each boss while taking little to no damage. This fight against Urizen is pretty straightforward, but it definitely has some tricks and can deal massive damage if you're not careful. In the opening phase, he focuses mainly on using his melee attacks and combos that are pretty easy to avoid by staying in the air with Balrog. You can typically stun him twice in this opening phase, and with each stun, you can usually get in about 2 to 3 reps of Balrog's real impact, and that's where the bulk of your damage is going to be coming from. Now there's a few points in the fight where he teleports away like you can see here, and he's going to pause to have a really quick monologue with himself. And normally, this is a great chance to nuke him with Dr. Faust's meteor attack. But in this particular fight, considering I hadn't stunned him a second time yet, I chose to rush in and go for that stun, but I do manage to land the meteor attack later on in the fight. Now usually by this point, he'll move into phase 2, which is mainly projectile focused. For the most part, he'll be using the same projectile fights from the other times you fight against him. And here again, the projectiles are very highly telegraphed. If you pay attention to the indicators on the ground, you can easily dodge around where the projectiles are going to be falling from or exploding from. You can air trick right through them in most cases and continue your onslaught. But new to this fight are his summoned swords, and you can see that I'm dodging them by jumping off of Urizen and then doing a double jump. This is overall a pretty safe method for just dodging them completely, but I do want to point out that it's also possible to destroy them entirely, using moves like Devil Sword Dante's four-handed, which is the standard Swordmaster style attack. Now once he's taken enough damage to activate his Devil Trigger, that is your indicator that he has now moved on to phase 3. In this phase, he's going to be much more physically aggressive, and he's going to have access to new melee attacks and combos. Even so though, staying in the air will keep you safe for the most part, but there is one new combo that is very notable and you do need to be aware of it. He basically does a downward punch into the ground, followed very quickly by a charging shoulder tackle. Now the shoulder tackle hits like a truck and it can swap you right out of the air. So you definitely have to keep your eyes peeled for that downward punch so that you know the shoulder tackle is coming next. And a great trick to avoid the ground spikes is to move to an area that doesn't have a red surface, as the spikes are limited to those areas. And watch out for the teleport combo immediately following the spikes. This attack killed me a lot, so keep your eyes peeled after you see the spike wall and dodge accordingly. Now regarding the use of Devil Trigger, it is useful to devote the energy towards the Sin Devil Trigger as it does come in handy in this fight, but if you do find yourself with some extra gauge, combining the Devil form with real impact can add up and do a ton more damage. And finally, though I didn't use it in this particular fight, the Sin Devil form can be quite effective against Urizen for not only dealing big damage, but also scoring a stun. Ideally, if you can build a triple S style rating, the Quad S ability where Dante can quickly transform to and from the Sin Devil form is also incredibly useful. One for its damage, but also for its mobility. But it's not something I was able to do in this fight, unfortunately, but I'll definitely incorporate it into future more stylish runs. You also have to be super careful of when you choose to use the Sin Devil Trigger, as the transformation back to normal leaves you completely vulnerable for several seconds, and it can backfire for you as it did for me in this clip here. Alright squad, that's it for this video. I hope that helps you kick this guy's ass and score your S rank if you haven't already. This is the first video of a new guide series that I want to do for every boss in the game, so leave a like if you enjoyed the video and let me know in the comments which boss you want to see next. As always, thanks for watching, my name's Derek, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.